brought to you live by Prize Picks. Come on, baby. The name is Law Nation. And as this room fill up, be sure, and I mean just that, be sure to hit the like, share this content, let friends, neighbors know where to go when it's time to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. That's including the ice wall. Baby, come on. Mama said there'll be days just like this, so stand tall or not at all. Come on. Cowboys, Micah Parsons leadership move plus Big X, the plug, baby. 5, 4, 3, 2, yup. They say ain't no party like a cowboy party. But what about a Law Nation's groove? Come on. Who running? Who running? Who's jogging? Who's jiving? Come on. Come on. Hey. Prepare for glory. Hallelujah. Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So shout out to everybody that's tuning in and being part of these type of episodes. We talk Cowboys football and beyond. That's including the ice wall, baby. So appreciate everybody. Let's get it. I see you, Coleman, in the chat. The biggest 214. I see you, fam. Adrian, I see you. Thank you, Lord Nova. Davies, appreciate you. Shout out to you. And what the weather is like out there in Oxnard, Davies. What the weather is, man. Come on, man. I'm in Texas now, man. King Fred, what's good with you? Leon L, what's good with you, man? Appreciate each and every last one of you all. If you guys didn't check out my video earlier today, we went and we talked a little bit on the surface level of Linval Joseph. And of course, man, he's about to hit 40. He's 35 going on 40 or 36 going on 40, something like that. And then there was some other news today. The other news was the what's that name of that doggone team? The Philadelphia Eagles, Howie and them. They went and made some moves, and they got somebody by the name of Jahan Dotson, excuse me. And I put in there what a steal, my guy. Yeah. So this the news. This is the breaking news from earlier today that the Eagles have agreed to terms on a trade. And let me see if I can pull this up so we can read it better. Appreciate everybody. It says, that's my sound effect, man. One day I have a button that we press, but we got to go old school. Wow. Wilding out over here. The Eagles have agreed to terms on a trade with the Commanders for a wide receiver, Jahan Dotson, and a 5th round pick in 2025 in exchange for a 3rd round pick and 2 7th rounds picks from 2025. So maybe it's a swap. I don't know. Maybe that's how that goes. And I said it's a steal because of the fact that Jahan still have upside, and he's not going to go to the Eagles land being their number 1 focus, nor their number 2 focus, nor their number 3 focus. It's going to go with A.J. Brown. It's going to go with Smitty, Dallas Goedert, and then Jahan. Or maybe, just maybe, is going to go to Saquon Barkley. So, 76 degrees out there. Good Lord. Yeah. 96 right now in Dallas. So thank God I'm inside my studio. So, we still sweeping ice cold. We still sweeping them boys. I'm glad they got more wide receivers. Yeah, because the ideology, you're supposed to do what with the ball in Kellen Moore's offense? Run the ball. So more weapons, meaning that they're going to try to throw the ball more. And you try to throw the ball with Jalen Hurts for multitudes of times, then that's more INTs, you know. So he might lead the league in INTs. You heard it first from Law Nation Sports on. I'm not hating on the dude, though, but shout out to him and getting his paper and moving over to a better team, because that means that Washington really going to fall off. Jayden Daniels, really, who you going to throw to now, you know? Me? So it's always good. Did Dotson slap Dan Quinn? Maybe so. So, yeah, it's one of those things whereas we look at that. And that's just some neighborhood-friendly talk of the Cowboys versus the Eagles, Giants, and as well as the Washington team. I still look at this right here that, believe it or not, even by the Cowboys picking up old man Rivers, you know, and there's more than one old man that we bring it into the mix. I think that this situation for us is good because what we needed help with last year, stopping the run. And what we got now this year, guys who can fill in A gap, who can fill in B gap, who could just get in the way so linebackers can rally, hit, chase, and do their things. And that's what we've been looking for. Yeah. So there's only one other move that we can get right now that would really solidify my defense or our defense, and that's a veteran DB, right? In my opinion, you know, a veteran DB. But something telling me, and it is really close to my heart with this, is that maybe, just maybe, Will McClay done did it again with Parsons, right? Maybe, just maybe. What if? So I'm going to hold my reservations a little bit. Yeah. But outside of that, I think that our moves are good for us. We know for sure that we don't spend first week of free agency. We don't do a lot of things in second week of free agency. So at this point, ladies and gentlemen, we just got to start expecting this. At the end of the day, we got to start expecting this from the front office. We got to. It's like a woman that do those coupon clippings. She's not all of a sudden going to stop that, right? She's not going to all of a sudden start spending. If she's a coupon saver, you know, that's what she do. It's a hobby, and that's what the Cowboys do. We are the coupon savers, you know. Yeah, CS, you can put that in the chat. So trying to change that, you know, you're not going to change it. Just like, you know, come on, ain't that right? Biggest 214, Paul Ice Cold. Man, look, all of that time saving and clipping them damn coupons, you can just go ahead and buy it. I'll pay the extra $1. I'm not finna be clipping 4 or 5 coupons to save $1. But sometimes in life you need that, though. You need somebody to say, hey, we're going to go through this book. Oh, don't throw that paper away. And you arguing about throwing the paper away. There's some coupons in there I want to save. Could have saved 15 cents. Riggs, J Business. Somebody. Yeah. According to the coupon, on my 15th visit, this burger's supposed to be free, man. This is the 15th time I've been here. Give me that burger free. That's the Cowboys. Diggs is the veteran now, Cali Cowboy. You're right. I said one more so that I don't want to have to rush Diggs out there, but I give it what y'all said. I'm getting somebody in trouble, you know. Have you ever poured some gas? Have you ever had the, you know, even with the gas savers, you pouring that gas in there, and then you try to lift the little nozzle up and you shaking it. What you shaking at? I'm trying to get all of the gas. I like them little drops gonna help. That's the Joneses though. They had that hose in there. What you shaking the doggone hose? I gotta get every drop out, man. Shoot, gas is higher than the shoulder right now. It's higher than spleens right now. Kidney, man. I got to make a choice. Do I get rid of my kidney or do I put $5 in the tank, man? Come on with it. Yeah, shout out to JC Cowboy Network. Yeah. Yes, what's good with you, man? Appreciate you, fam. So with that being said, I listened to Micah Parsons a little bit earlier today, and we're going to bring that up. Y'all know what I'm talking about, those who shake the holes, you know, to get that little drop out of it. You know? Oh, my gosh, man. Look, as different as we look, as country as I am, man, we all the same folks, man. We all the same folks. We all know that one person that like to shake the hole and get that last bit of gas up out of there. And then you always know that one person that will ride on a teaspoon of gas, and they would tell you, I know my car. Hey, man, it says 40 miles to empty. The trip we going to is 50 miles. And the smooth is like, I know my car. That's the Joneses. Hey, I know my car. Like, wait a minute, the trip is 50 miles. We got 40 miles to empty. I know my car, you know. And then we get there, the car start Harlem shaking. The car is Harlem shaking, and then there's a gas station on the hill. And I'm looking at him like, hey, man, you knew that gas station was there? You didn't know that damn gas station was there. Yeah, I know my car. And that's what we did with Linville Joseph. He's the gas station on the hill, as well as Jordan and them. Hey, he's the gas station, you know, on the hill. We're like, hey, I told you I know my car. We made it to this point. Now, hush your mouth, Law. Come on, man. Next time you drive.
Please come home.
I got what?
I got
beans and bologna. Who's riding right now on a teaspoon of gas? I start sweating when we get to a half of a tank. I said, man, I got to pull over, man. My car don't ride as good when we on a half of a tank. Yeah, I'm that dude. Yeah, we get to a third. Look, we pulling up to the gas station, and I'm filling it all the way up to the top. I'm not going to get, let me get 10 on pump 7. Nah, man, I'm filling that thing all the way up. Yeah. That's me. Let me get 15 on pump 9. Nah, man, I'm filling that thing all the way up. Yeah. 1/8 SWAT. Shout out to y'all, man, because you know, the lower your gas get, the more trash it pulls into everything. And that's what happening. Woo, boy, we can preach a sermon off of this, ladies and gentlemen. The longer you wait in this free agency market, the more trash you get from that fumes. And not everybody mad because everybody's looking at it like, hey, you don't know that gas station is going to be open on top of that hill when you get to that distance there. Man, go ahead and fill it up now. It'll be a better ride. You'll help out all of the other parts. But the gas station at the top of the hill at the 45 mile marker, shoot, we don't want to do that. No, come on with it. 10 get you about 3 gallons. Yeah. Yeah, but it is what it is. Shoot, a lot of people agree with me, though. So let me get into this conversation. Shout out to 105.3 The Fan.
Not so much now. This is I think the 10th player that they've added in the month of August.
What did you set the over-under with Broadus and Nick Harris at 2.5 towards outside players that would be added from this point to the start of the regular season?
Yeah, that will be on the roster. So there's one. Mm-hmm. Now we just need a running back that'll get added, I'm sure, and them grabbing somebody else off waivers. So you have added basically the interior defensive line for the Buffalo Bills last year because you went and traded for Jordan Phillips, and now you've added Linval Joseph, who was with the Bills last year, was not with the Bills for the entire season. He picked up about midway through. But
you know what I do? If I ever get a chance to, after these boys threw the ball around a little bit, I'm going to ask Jordan Phillips and Linville, hey, come on, man, let me know. Dak better than doggone Josh Allen, right? Dak better than Josh Allen, right? That's what I'm gonna ask him. Hey, man, because y'all been in the rooms with him. Let me know. We're gonna pull him to the side. Maybe it'd be a new media question. But getting those two boys, as you guys were able to see on the film assessment, we are in better shape. I'm hearing a lot of people saying, well, what do this mean about Mazi? What do this mean about Osa? No, it's meaning that you got better situation from them. You don't have to build your house around Mazi. Look, here's another thing. A lot of people talked about how Parsons kind of dissipated or spazzed out towards the latter end of the season last year. Well, hell, he was doing all of the heavy lifting. Off the edge, in the middle, on the side, and doing these type of things, being 30 pounds underweight as an edge rusher. Now we reversed that thing. Now we flipped it around. A lot of people were saying that even Osa, after October and close to November, he disappears too. Well, how about now? Can you imagine if Osa giving you straight up good business work down inside, pause if necessary, and we get into the playoffs, and now he can bring that same energy. Everything that D-Law said is now uncovered and is working to our favors. More depth. Yeah, ain't that right, Rogers? Yeah. So when D-Law said we were tired, a lot of us didn't want to receive that, but that was the damn truth. Sometimes telling the truth hurts. It cuts. Man, that team was tired, man. We didn't know what to do against Green Bay. We was like my guy Chris Tucker on Rush Hour. Which one of y'all hit me? You know, which one of y'all hit me? So now we got depth pieces, although they're long in the tooth. But shoot, something about, that old broom getting them corners. And we couldn't get them corners last year. Man, they had Aaron Jones looking like Emmett mixed in with Barry Sanders. Come on with it. Yeah.
Had played 7 games for the Bills last year and was in there in that defensive interior when the Cowboys played him last year. And so this is somebody that Mike Zimmer's got a lot of experience with, having spent 5 or 6 seasons in Minnesota with Mike Zimmer.
Right.
And as soon as Zimmer was gone, I think it was right after he left was when they finally purged him out. So this is somebody that Zimmer's been a fan of and believes in and is not going to give you anything other than just eat space.
That's all we need to eat space. And Ice Cold Cowboy says, my old broom finally broke. Man, you better find out another stick to put on there. Because them straw brooms versus those synthetics, you got to sweep even harder. You're going to have strong shoulders. But them straw brooms, you know what I'm talking about? The brooms with the straw. Yeah, you put that straw broom, it'll get them corners real good. It'll act as if a person that can really just glide over the floor, and you sweep one time. Shoot. So yeah, you go find a way to fix that old broom, because the new brooms ain't kicking it. Y'all seen them new brooms with them synthetic brushes and bristles on it? Can't get nothing done. Yeah. Shout out to you, Sadiq. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Ice Cold said he had that broom for 15 years too. Yeah. But you gotta wrap it around and fix it, man. Get some old. And you must be doing something else with that broom for them old brooms to break. Yeah, them new brooms got the plastic handles and be sweeping and the whole head fall off. You be like, wait a minute. How the head fall off? Them old brooms, you got to get one of them old brooms. I'm talking about straws. Right. Yeah, sign/trade a running back already from Seabass. I feel you, fam. I feel you. Yeah.
He is there to plug up blockers and to get in the way and keep things clean for linebackers so that they can just run free. But this is not somebody you're going to notice making splash plays. This is somebody that's here to just eat up space.
Did you watch tape of him?
I watched a little bit of him last night, yeah.
Was it bad?
It's not bad. It's just it's not there's nothing dynamic about him. There's nothing really versatile about him. He's not the same player that he once was, but I mean he's still a big, strong guy who can sit there and fill up the A gap or the B gap or take on guards and centers. Right. He can take on 2 blockers at times and just be a presence that, takes up 2 different hats and makes it free so that you can get DeMarvion Overshown or Marius Leafau or Eric Hendricks, one of these guys, to be able to run free without worrying about a blocker coming up on him. So that aspect of it that they haven't had consistently, a guy who's just strong, powerful, big, think like a lesser version of Hankins. That's the type of player that he is, and that's what he'll do.
35 years.
No doubt. So here's the news from Mike Garofalo, Mike. He says the Cowboys are finalizing a deal with defensive tackle Linval Joseph per Josina Anderson. Sources says he get $2.5 million guaranteed, and he can earn upwards of $4 million in his reunion with the DC coordinator Mike Zim. Now my guy Pat No C. Walker, he expressed that the deal is not finalized, and I'm not trying to rage war between a person that's on the outside versus inside. The ideology is that we're somewhere close. I don't know how far apart they are, close or far away from it, but by them reporting on the numbers, something is leaked out, right? And it's more so maybe incentives or stuff like that is just not all the way finalized yet, but it's some type of spit upon in the hand and like a handshake agreement, right? Not ink on paper yet. I don't know. But I'm acting as if, though, the deal is already done. I don't have time to be dealing with the Cowboys gymnastics on the back end of it. I know for sure in principle that, for to make this type of announcement, that something is about to get done. If not, then we will, as content curators, talk about the deal not getting done. That's just how simple it is, I'm not a journalist over here. I don't have to be accurate to that damn point or the degree of what the language is of the contract, right? We just talk about, we react to the news. We don't report the news. We react to it, right? And every now and then we get right, dead point accuracy, 100% on it, right? But it's not about Ray J in it or who said it first or who hit it first with this information. That 9 times out of 10, all of this stuff don't matter until we play week 1, right? The 46 guys or the 47 guys has got to be out there week 1, right? The 53 man that's on this team, but the 46 active day guys, right? Can we win week 1? That should be the mindset after preseason, this last final preseason. Can we win week 1, right? And we are praying that everybody that's playing this weekend can come out healthy and present their best tape, because there's still a lot of reservations, So what's the deal? Which one is it, Sadiq? Just go ahead and say that he's on this team. If these guys are already, look, Mike Garofalo, he got 536,000 subscribers and followers on. He working for a network. If he's presenting and saying that, hey, this guy is finalizing the deal, then 9 times out of 10 he's close, but no cigar, right? So I'm thinking that, hey, we can lean on that and start talking about that, right? Now, we can have lofty goals of me saying that, yeah, Pat Surtain is about to sign with the Cowboys. That video would do 1 million views right now, right? If I'm sitting here saying sources close to me saying that the Cowboys are interested in signing Pat Surtain, everybody, mama, uncle, cousin, Tupac, and Biggie would be like, damn, man, then that will really set the Cowboys off, and I can hoodwink everybody right now, right? Yeah, I don't do that, though. We don't do that type of talk over here as content creators, but there are some that do that, too, But it would be nice to have Pat Surtain here, right?
Years old, 14th NFL season. For what it's worth, his PFF grade last year was a 38.8, which is not good at all.
Right.
I like that. I like that they're adding. I just don't know that I like or love what they're adding, because you're shopping at the discount store a lot.
Yeah, and you're doing so really late in the game. Like, where was this move in May or April or March? Like, why were you not making these moves or finding these types of players then?
Well, maybe they wanted to see if bigger names would be available to be cut.
That's possible.
See how training camp goes, assess your team after that.
It's possible, but I think there are guys who, the decision to make to add Linval Joseph, like, who do you feel like you're costing yourself? And how much do you feel you're costing yourself financially that you can't just get a look at them throughout the entire offseason program? So I don't know why it was such a slow play. This is clearly a Mike Zimmer ad. This is not anything. The Cowboys have been incredibly hesitant on Joseph for years now, the Cowboys personnel department, because they're not typically a team that has felt like they need to value one techniques very strongly.
Which I've been critical of, because this team has not been able to stop the run.
Yeah, they're not a team that generally their philosophy says we got to have one techniques that are big space eaters and they don't do much else for us.
Shout out to you, Ray, for the 60. Appreciate you so much on the Facebook.
when they
60
have
stars.
invested in a nose guard, it's typically been you're grabbing Antoine Woods off of a practice squad cut, or you're snatching this person over here and just throwing something at the wall and seeing if it sticks. Now, no disrespect to Antoine Woods, who I think was solid given for what they had brought him in for, but Linval Joseph is a guy that I don't think they've ever felt like, oh, we need this type of player, and a guy that I think they've had some hesitancy to say they would want to spend the money necessary to bring him in here. Now at the end of his career, cheaper, and clearly somebody that Zimmer trusts, I think they're like, all right, if this is the guy you want, and it'll make your defense work, go ahead.
It was the final padded practice in
No doubt. So that's their thoughts on Linval Joseph. Wanted to share that with you all. I know most of you guys may have already heard those sentiments and thoughts of it. And just to give you guys some backstory of it, the Cowboys, when we talk about value, like on a player, they tend to not value or understand the growth aspect of one text, three texts to a degree. And then that sprinkles down to some of the players. Law, what do you mean? What are you trying to say? Well, anybody that signs with the silver and blue and the star on the side of the helmet, people have these crazy expectations out of a one tech or a three tech. They think that one tech's supposed to get 8, 10 sacks, 11 sacks, 12 sacks, and they even hold Mazi to that degree. Like, even though Justin Matabuke wasn't a first-round draft pick, I think he was drafted in the third or what have you, damn it took him 3 years before he broke out. Dexter Lawrence, to a degree, it took him damn near 3 years for he to break out. But none of those guys were talked about, and Dexter Lawrence was drafted in the first round. It took a coaching change for him to flourish and get things going by his third season. But everybody, when you are drafted by the Cowboys, they want instant gratification, and then they would sully and denigrate and open cheeks and take a dump on them because they're not getting the numbers that they're supposed to get there week 1 or week 2 or week 4. And they'll go back and forth about this and that, and they'll say, hey, man, this guy's trash. When it normally takes 3 to 4 years for interior defensive linemen to get you any results. And that's across the board amongst all 31 other teams. But I get it, right? We wanted Mazi to be this guy to give you 5 or 8 sacks, can shut down the run, can develop under a system that a dude never developed anybody. Aiden Durde never developed anybody. It's not even on his resume. But all of a sudden, he's supposed to be drafted here and developed. That's craziest thinking. But that's how it goes when you are a Cowboy fan, right? But any other team, you can slide them under the radar, and then they can continue to do their growth aspect of it. That's crazy. Adam said they think Mazi is supposed to be Aaron Donald, right? And it was never that, nor the case, nor the scenario. He came into this particular situation, I think, unevenly. And now we're looking at it like, okay, all right, they brought in more and more help, and now he's supposed to do X, Y, and Z. Nah. He was never on the level of Vita Vea. And Vita Vea, to be fair, he's what? A 2-down lineman, and he had Shaq Lawson. He had other guys. I think they even had, to a degree, brought in more and more weapons. Like, what's the guy that played for the Lions? I forgot his name. Sue and all of those boys. They had Sue and McCoy. They had pieces around him so that he can develop into the person that he is now, right? But his number one goal was Vita Vea. You had linebackers behind him, and you had different and better defensive coordinators. But it is what it is. Shout out to you, Mike Jones. Appreciate you for your support.
This is where we hold them. This is where we fight.
Don't need, Mega Clip says, don't need Mazi to get any sacks. Just be big and plug holes. Right. So, and that should happen down the stretch. Here's what I like about the signing before we play some audio of Micah Parsons, the the absolute reason why we're going to talk about his leadership moves. We want to bring in this guy not to make it comfortable, but to transfer his knowledge and wisdom and understanding of the game over to the youth, like your Rodgers, like your Denzel Daxons, if he can make this team, like your Mazis, right? We saw marginal improvements of Mazi shooting, getting upfield, hands inside, and of course he had this allergic reaction, which is normal. You know, people are human. That he missed out on his past preseason game. Supposedly, he should be able to play this preseason game, right? Now, I get what Coach Marv said about, hey, maybe it's time to trade him off and get rid of him and get something back in return. Now, that is subject to being still on the table, right? I'm not sitting here saying that he's not tradable, right? Schoonmaker is not tradable. Who else can throw out here? Tolbert, not tradable. I'm not saying that any of those guys are not tradable, because you should always have your head on a swivel. All right? Like scheme fit, if Jahan Dotson, I'm using the Washington team only as an example, he probably didn't fit the scheme that they are trying to do with new offensive coordinator, Cliff Kingsbury, right? Let's get something back in return, right? Let's just move on from him. And it's a better situation for him opposed to being stuck in Washington, right? In Washington, they got their skeletons all over the place, even though the expectation is high, you know. But it is what it is. Mazi eat one-on-ones, I feel you. But let's talk about this guy who's been working with Mazi on a few things and trying to help him, you know, and get things going in the right and proper direction, and his name is Micah Parsons. He's the one that banged on the table for Mazi, or for a big boy down inside, and hopefully we can see something that can transfer over to the good, you know, and that's Micah Parsons.
That's what we need. You need that intensity, that ramp up. What, we 2 weeks away? Right. You need to be ready to go, you know. The adrenaline should be higher, everything should be higher, man. Next week's going to be a completely different team. So, you know, this is a lot of guys' last showing. And you need that, man, especially you want to see that drive, especially from that second group. You know, I think that's why it was so important for me to, like, really amp these guys up, because a lot of guys don't understand the opportunity and the gratitude of just being out here and not knowing this isn't guaranteed, you know. So we need those type of days.
I raised this defense. How have y'all taken to Mike Zimmer's scheme and fitting and really ready to show your best this year?
You know, I think it's a combination of both things. I think Mike has done a great job of opening, you know, seeing the film from last year. I was like, hey, Mike, you mind if we keep this in here? We're doing this. We had a lot of success, especially to certain looks, things like that. And, you know, he got his hard nose and he got his okays. We can work that in. So I think the combination of, you know, all our minds been.
You got a commercial.
If you're like most people, draft day can be chaos.
There we go.
Really putting a great use. Our morning
got to pay them bills.
You know, the group just keep getting bigger and bigger. Everyone's knowledge of the system. And I think we have a really good chance of being a really, really, really good defense this year.
When the practice started today, do you have a feeling that this was going to be feisty, or did it just develop as it went on?
I think it just developed as it went on. You know, I think it was kind of like a lot of guys are banged up. You don't really know who's out here. And I don't know, something just kind of like sparked. And I was just like, man, we got to really take this to another level. It don't matter who's out here, who's in here, you know. And I think it started from that 2 minute and just kind of really went on from there.
Being the last practice, didn't have something to do with it? Ready to go home?
I mean, I'm ready to go home. I've been ready to go home. I mean, that ain't changed nothing. But, you know, like I said, it's the last really competitive day.
Right.
And it was one.
For a lot of guys, that's probably my last time competing with a couple of those guys. So, you know, I think that took a big part of it, just all of us being together.
You have three guys in this rookie class that look like are going to work in and play for you some this year, and Nealon and Leofau and you know, Carson.
What would he say about this, y'all?
I really think a lot of Marshawn. I think Marshawn is going to be really, really good. You know, I think he approached this thing the right way of coming in and just being coachable, taking the points, and I think each day he's kind of getting closer to what I'm seeing. You know, I think he's still developing his feel at the pro level, and, you know, that feels hard, bro, and it's hard to really grasp because it's different than college, man. And I think Mazi battled that last year, understanding the feel and the, you know, how strong some of these guys really are and your leverage and, you know, where your most strong point at. And that takes a while, man. And like I said, I'm always grateful for those guys who helped me out. And then, you know, Carson, I think he flashed a lot. You know, I think they realized that pretty early, and then now he's not playing in preseason games, so you can kind of see where he's going in his direction in his career, and he's going to play a lot. So we got a great group there, and, you know, and we had a lot of injuries the last 2 years, though. You know, we got some depth at the position. It's really good, and I think Maris is really straining out, man. I think I said even yesterday he's making plays all over. I think, you know, his kind of – I think when you come here and you're like, man, I'm playing all these good guys, and, you know, you're thinking, you're still trying to learn the playbook, but I think he got it now. I think he's going to be the guy that's going to surprise a lot of people and probably play, you know, just as much as Marshawn, if not more. Carson's kind of hard because you got 2 All-Pros, but I think Maris is really going to make that jump.
All right, so before we go a little bit further into this, I want to add in the fact that there's always compromising, right? In any relationship, there's compromising. There's adjustments. It's my way or the highway. It's not my way or the highway. So one of the valuable pieces of the first 4 or 5 minutes of this video was saying, hey, I told Mike Zim that these are the things that we worked on that worked for us last year. And he said there was some hard no's and there was some yeses in there, all right? Can't take everything from other schemes. And I'm hoping that we take the good stuff that worked last year and apply it. It's not like we did everything terrible. Like, to me personally, I was satisfied with the defense last year, but the problem was with the defense, our inefficiencies outweighed the satisfactions. It outweighed it. When you're having a guy that's 205 pounds, right? When you switch, you knew for sure that all of the data points showed that you did a damn good job when you play man-to-man and you switch to zone. Just like that. To your weakest thing. Trying to hit the opposing team by the element of surprise. But there were some good things that this defense did last season. Not everything was bad. Now, on the flip side with the offense, I hope that Steve Shimko can help out with those type of things on the offense. Say, hey, when we in rhythm, we're moving the ball. I look back at tape, Mike McCarthy, and this is what we were doing at Boston College, although that was on a collegiate level, but this is how we can help out since these are the plays that you guys were able to work and was beneficial. So that's why we're seeing a run game that's a little bit better, even with less of talent on certain aspects, as well as with the offense on the rhythms of the throws and things like that. So let's go with it. Let's listen to more of Micah Parsons, brought to you by DallasCowboys.com. The link will be submitted in a few.
You brought up.
I mean, I think Zeke's a game-time player. I think Zeke's one of my favorite players of all time. And I think you know, what he shows out here and what he does on game day is like night and day. And it's never really the good looks. I don't think people take and consider what Zeke really does. Zeke's a trucker. Like, he trucks people. He creates movement. You're not going to see out there when we're just tagging off. So you don't really see how great Zeke is until we're in person. I mean, all of it until last year, I think he had over 1,000 yards. So, I mean, he's one of my favorite players of all time. So anytime I get have him back or have him in this team, bro, I'm pretty happy about it.
Speaking of the all-pro corners, how good is it to see Trayvon?
Now, before they talk about Trayvon, let me add like a 3 cents to this Ezekiel Elliott thing. Running back sets the tone. I'm not saying that Zeke is Natron Means, Jerome Bettis in them, nor beast mode, right? But running back set the tone. And last year there was no tone setters. You know, Zeke when he runs, and he dropped that cantankerous head, and he leans forward, and he hits you, that set the tone. I'll never forget, we played against, I believe, the Eagles, and they had a guy named Malcolm Jenkins. He was their tone setter on the opposing side, on the defensive side. And Zeke, when we got down to the inside the 20, that joker dropped that head, shoulders, pow! Hey, old boy was like, man, he was literally like, yeah, that was you know. Oh, he smashed them so bad, man. I said, oh, yeah, we winning this game. Yeah, just off of that. Yeah. So that's why we was kind of banging on the table for Derrick Henry, you know, because we were a more talented team. We get a Derrick Henry. You put that tone setter on this team, but that's water under the bridge now. He's gone to the Ravens. We will see him week 3. He's an enemy now. But that's why we looking for bruisers, man. I've seen, you know, teams go to the postseason with a guy named Brandon Jacobs. Very pedestrian throughout the entirety of the season, the team in general. But when they got to that postseason, Brandon Jacobs, sure, he started running over some folks, man, Cowboy player, like, you know what, we ain't about that life, man. Sure, we going to go ahead and let this man run all over us. Shout out to you, Rev, for the $2 holla. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for your support. Yeah. Come on with it.
Diggs not only back out there, but it looks like he's getting back to form quickly. He's talking, you know, during every rep, just seeing that energy from him.
Oh, I mean, I love to see. I mean, that's the energy that I knew he had. It's just getting him back into that momentum. I think his first couple of days, he's kind of just like, you know, he's trying to get his feet under himself and he's trying to get his feel. And yesterday, I think he was like, man, my legs ain't as good as they used to be. And I think today you really start to see him shining, and he's going to come back a lot sooner than, you know, he anticipated.
Yeah.
And I think he's really looking better and better, making plays. He's attacking the ball now instead of just feeling his routes. I mean, we're starting to see that Trayvon Diggs, who's going to make that, I mean, that top 5 corner Diggs.
Micah, you mentioned that you're going to do your podcast again. I'm just curious, when you go into another season of doing that, do you take notes to do something different, or how do you kind of approach doing that?
I approach it like how I play the football game, man. Just, I think when you kind of love the sport and you kind of watch it and you're just constantly learning, and you know, every day I'm out here, I think I got a good input or idea of what's going on in locker rooms and, you know, what's going out there on the field. And man, I just kind of like to see y'all opinions too, man. I think everyone has a positive outlook on the game, as long as it's positive. I hate the negative talk about things and players, but as long as it's positive, man, that's really about, because at the end, right, as kids, as adults, that look at what we say and how we do things, and we always want to be positive, because at the end of the day, this is an entertainment business, right? So we want to put positive entertainment, positive words out there, because at the end of the day, we don't want to degrade or put down anybody. We always want to be as positive as we can.
So you know, the end of it, when fans would say there's a lot of distractions, but you would say no, because I'm doing a podcast, I'm doing my thing.
Yeah, I mean.
Before he say anything else about this podcast thing, y'all know my stance on this. Do Law Nation like the podcast stuff that these players do? No, I don't like it. But just because I don't like it doesn't mean that I got to disagree with the brother doing it, right? You know, I don't like avocado ice cream, if there's ever such a thing, right? But that doesn't mean that I dog the next person that eats avocado ice cream. I'm just old school with it. And this is his off day, right? And what it does, it generates this, you can say one thing and the Cowboys thing go viral, right? It generates more of that type of stuff. But here's my line that I draw in the sand. Do I prefer Micah Parsons doing podcast stuff or out there in the clubs, you know, shaking money all at these ladies out here, or robbing people with ski masks on, or what have you, racing people in the streets? I would prefer him doing the podcast stuff. So what's good for the goose, good for the gander. So Give me that avocado ice cream if it's going to save this man's life over there. If he like eating the avocado ice cream opposed to drinking, smoking, rolling, and doing all this type of stuff, gambling and robbing and stealing, then give me avocado ice cream. Right? That's what I've been trying to tell folks. To each his own. It could be worse, right? It could be a situation. It's not like the dude is like, no offense, because Mama Gregory and Daddy Gregory, we love you, but it's not like he's doing Randy Gregory type of stuff. Still in underwears. Ain't that right, Roger M? Yeah. yeah. Ice Cold Cowboy says avocado belongs on tacos. And it's damn good. Yeah. Not that liquid stuff you get from some fast food restaurants. I'm talking about real, no GMO avocado and some Himalaya salt. Ooh-wee. Yeah. So what I'm trying to tell y'all is that I would prefer Micah Parsons doing this versus even just going out driving somewhere. 9 times out of 10, chances will be less of him getting into anything else at the crib talking about who his top 5 players of all time is, right? Come on. Yeah.
I don't think no one really cares about what I'm doing on a Monday afternoon when I'm at home with my kids, so why would they care if I'm on Xbox, if I'm on, I think we all get our own free time. When y'all away from here, are y'all thinking about me at home? I would hope not.
They're thinking about you, dog.
Because you're tweeting and so we got to follow you and stuff like that.
No, you should follow me, but I know
at home, at the bar, and I got to watch you.
Yeah, but I know, but at Tuesday afternoon, I'm at home with my kids. I know you probably not think, I wonder if Mike is doing a podcast. I wonder what he's going to say. I would hope not. I hope y'all like that.
It's after it's posted, then I got to worry about it.
Yeah, after it's posted, okay.
As long as you don't say nothing controversial, then we're good.
Yeah, I try not to say controversial, but everyone always is going to be drawn to something. They're going to try to take one word or one phrase.
Body language, like on a draft.
Yeah, they're going to take one thing and just be, oh, Mike has said this, he feels it. I mean, we all have opinions. We ain't going to agree to what everyone says. I mean, that's life.
Two things. Yesterday you didn't practice, so you just kind of doing conditioning.
This is a customer full of browsers who aren't buying.
Now we skip.
What was up with that? Of course, you were back today. So.
Yeah. I just think I was just taking care of my body. I just woke up, felt something just a little bit different, and I just wanted to be cautious with it and just making sure I'm constantly just getting my treatment, and I was able to go full go today, so nothing really to worry about. I was just being cautious with myself. Same thing with D-Law. We kind of just alternated days, we just want to be cautious with it because at the end of the day, I don't need D-Law out here. I know what D-Law can do. He's as dominant as I ever seen him yesterday. Right. So we just kind of took days because we can't both be out the same day, so we both just said we just going to just be cautious about it.
One more thing. We've been watching you at the practice, taking Mazi under your wing, running with him, talking to
Listen
him,
properly.
About that, and how important that is.
For me, I just felt like I think this is the year I can really step up and be the leader. I think I'm the youngest dude with kind of most experience with Mazi. I mean, not Mazi, Osa. But, I think I got the crown, and I need to, build up my guys around me and making sure we're all ready because at the end of the day, I realized, I'm only as good as the worst person, or how the saying, you're only as good as the worst person in your team.
You're only as strong as your weakest link, and that's what he's trying to find in his mind, right? And this is leadership right here talking. And the expectations to be a leader and never being one, and being in that spot is a dangerous spot to be in. It's a dangerous spot to be in. Say, hey, I'm a leader of this team. I'm old enough to remember there was a young guy by the name of Michael Jeffrey Jordan, right? Phenomenal talent. Was he a leader year 1? You can argue and say, yeah. Year 2, yeah. 3, 4, 5. They couldn't get past those Pistons. They were getting thrown up out of the doggone clubs, man, trying to do that stuff. It took him how many years for those who follow basketball that took him to become that ultimate champion? And what did it took? It took multitudes of players. He couldn't do it by himself. right? And one can argue, hey, he still didn't get one without Scotty, my bad. Yeah. So it took a complete team. So many people miss the meat worrying about the potatoes. Micah Parsons, he got all of the talent in the world. But far as being a leader of this team to marry up with his talent, it's going to take him time. It's going to take him, experience 7 seasons, right? And we ain't finna be waiting for no 7 seasons for Parson to get it right? But I'm telling y'all that this year now you can listen to the countenance of his voice and his reasonings, right? He's been that dude. He's trying to stay extra and work with fellas. And I can hear some small voice saying, well, what about D-Law? Shouldn't he be the quote-unquote leader of this team? Sometimes you can have the wisdom and the experience, but you don't have the qualities to qualify. There's people at somebody's job right now. I'll never forget. There was a lady, quick story. Since we got nothing but time, right? This lady, when we first got in, she was a GS5, and she'd been there for like 30, 40 years, right? 30 years, 40 years within the confines of working within the federal system. GS5. And I pulled her to the side and said, why? How come you just never applied for a higher grade status? You maxed out here. And she said, well, I just don't have the leadership qualities. I said, shoot, you trained me. You training a whole bunch of people. You can't get mad at somebody else for applying themselves, and now they're a 12 or 13 position, and they was there when you start. They started after you, but they applied themselves. And you get mad and talk about the fellas or the gentlemen or the ladies that surpass you, but you never put your name in a hat, and you put yourself into a box. That same lady now, I motivate beyond just on this Cowboys world. She's a GS12 now. But the reason why she was a 5 for all of those years, because she never applied herself. She never believed in herself. Sometimes you just got to go for it. And show and say, hey, I may not have the qualifications here and there, but this is my experiences. And to me, to that point, even D-Law, I know that he's a vocal leader on some aspects of the team, but he's not a vocal leader to all of the aspects of the team because he never applied it. Micah Parsons, he comes out here and he's applying it. Hey, I want this. I watch all of the greats. I talk to this person. And you're going to hear it in this interview. I talked to Tom Brady. I talked to this person. Not saying that D-Law didn't, but he never applied for it. There's somebody else watching this tape right now that's been in their position for all of those years, 12 years, 15 years, and they complain and they talk about the next person that's getting promotions, getting these deals and stuff, and they never applied to it. And they got all of the qualifications. Some, believe it or not, you don't even have the qualifications, but based upon your experiences and time and grade and time in this particular system, man, you just have to put your name in. We pleased to announce that you are now selected for this position, and we would like for you to turn in your badge here because we're going to give you this clearance because now you are ultrally qualified for this role now in your new role. But some people are so much in fear of this letter right here. We regret to inform you that another candidate been selected from this position. I got over 100 of those letters, but I kept applying. Applying. Rejection. I made rejection my vitamin. Yeah. That no, that big no. No. Yes, I'm getting a little bit closer to that yes. No, you ain't qualified. No, you overqualified. I said, wait a minute now. Hold on. What's the cheat code to being overqualified? Oh, okay. But you don't give up. That's Parsons.
And Mazi's not even the worst person on the team. The growth he's made, and the thing is, he wants to get better. He's like, you gonna be on me today? I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna be on you, bro, because I need you, bro. Like, we need each other. We want to win this championship. And that's what it takes, man. It's not just me that's helping him get better. He wants to get better. Right. He wants to be in better shape. He doesn't want let anyone down. That's the type of person he is. The person of Mazi is what I care about, and that's a unteachable characteristic. A lot of people are like, man, I'm not running. I just continue to get better in my own way. But Mazi, man, he's just so engaged. He's so active and getting better, man. And I couldn't be more proud of him. Even when he don't like it, he's like, you got me, bro. And I make fun of his breathing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to teach him how to control his breathing. Right. You gotta learn how to control your breathing so you're not letting so much air out. Right. And he's just constantly just learning little ways to keep getting better. So I just think that's just something I said, man, if we lose, I just don't want it to be like, I didn't do everything I could to make everyone else around me. I think last year I didn't check that box, and that's something that I was like, man, I want everyone on the same level. So
leadership.
That's why you constantly see me running the middle practice. I want to make sure I can't preach something and not do it, man. They got to see me doing it. They got to see me. If I'm not doing this, I'm going to be running because I need to be in the best shape for them. They need to be in the best shape for me. So I'm just trying to show so much positive leadership so these guys are like, man, if Mike is doing it, man, I got to do it or I ain't going to say nothing about it. So I just want to check all the boxes. So when playoffs and season come around, everyone's just locked in. We're all on the same page, and it's going to be like breath of fresh air.
Man, that boy got it, baby. Oh, my goodness. Being a trailblazer right there. Yeah. Poser says, overqualified dude equals Riggs. It's Riggs all the way. I was. Good. That's with the guts.
Just dropped him.
It dropped him. Yeah, so overqualified, that's the Riggs approach. You get overqualified. But back to what Parson said. He said that, he had to be the example. He had to set the pace and the tone. So point me to your leader, right? And granted, everybody going to have their little flaws here and there. But if he's going to dedicate a time to have his personal day, and he's talking on podcast so all of us can see it, then we got to live with that. But the part that we love is staying extra after practice. Yeah. That's growth. Ain't this right, Chase? Yeah. And then saying, okay, this guy need help with breathing. Okay. If I know I help him out, that's going to eventually pay dividends for me so that I can get help out, right? So that's how all of this stuff works. That's how all of this stuff goes into the right, proper direction. So let's get it, Cowboy Nation. Let's get it. Let's listen to more what he had to say.
Who made you realize that needed to improve?
Honestly, bro, it was a deep conversation we had last year, right before playoffs. And
Round one. What exciting benefits do you get as a
they get applied all these commercials. Come on.
Plus Rewards member?
You get to skip the line and go right to your car.
And
pick any car you want from Hertz's wide selection of great vehicles.
Keep going, Bo.
Earn points toward future rentals.
Boom! Tom Brady still got it.
Tom Brady still got it. And now hold on, they're gonna hit me with two of them now. Hold on now. Come on, Cowboys, Riggs. Okay, there we go.
Guys was just like, you gotta bring us along with you. You can't.
Hit me with two commercials.
Journey alone. And if you're Mr. All Pro, and it was a reality check for me. And, I kind of went to my mentors this offseason. I was like, man, how do I approach this? How do I get better at this? Because this is a task that I never had to take on in my life. I think my whole life I was kind of pretty much like, Mike is going to do what Mike has got to do. And I just expected, everyone else to do that. But as you kind of learned in leadership is some people do need a pat on the back and some people do need a push up to say, hey, we need a little bit more out of you. Because everyone's not built the same, and everyone doesn't have the same mindset. So I think it was a harsh reality and a reality check for me within myself. And my self-evaluation was, man, I got to do the best as I can to make myself better, but not only bring along other guys. And, and I feel like I needed that, and I'm glad I had that conversation early on because, you kind of want to strike while the pot's hot.
Who are those mentors that you talked to?
Andrew Whitworth. I actually talked to Richard Sherman.
Super Bowl champ. Super Bowl champ.
He gave me a long lecture while we was at the Super Bowl. And he was like, man, I can't believe you guys lost that. Yeah. And honestly, it was while we were at Super Bowl, all the OGs were there, man. Like, they all come back for like all the fans and all the, you guys were there too. So you guys know. And I think it was a bunch of the legends was there, and it was in Delilah's, and we was just having a long 2-hour conversation just about, man, how you need to approach things and how I felt and how I was like so, I was like so distraught about it. Like I just couldn't believe it. And, obviously I still got Whit, and, I still got Ray Lewis. He was a great mentor when I was talking to him at Pro Bowl. And just getting that feeling and understanding of what it takes to lead.
I guarantee you, Ray gonna get that man back in the linebacker spot, back on the defensive edge spot. He's gonna be playing everywhere. That's why he's subject to, now when we send Parsons, he's playing everywhere. Not saying that he was only wanting to play edge rusher, but this dude is finna play everywhere. Just by a few words of encouragement, man, it goes a long way. Yeah. Goes a long way. Oh, my goodness.
Because, I think it's different because, I think growing up, I seen Ray Lewis be successful. I seen Richard Sherman be successful. I seen Big Whit do it in his last year. That was my rookie year. And understanding kind of the recent, and then obviously, I got Brady. Brady was a great mentor. I got to talk to Brady 4 or 5 times in person over this offseason. And, I'm trying to find every characteristic from them winning teams. I'm trying to find what were y'all doing in practice that was clicking for y'all. And Brady told me he had days like this. Brady had tough days. He said, we didn't have it easy. And I think that's the thing with all of this, man. You got to find characteristics in these winning teams. How can I bring this over my team? All these teams are different, but they all have similarities. And I think when you guys ask me, man, why you watch these throwbacks? Why you watch these? You're a fan of these greatness because they all got similar characteristics. That's why I'm so drawn to MJ and the Derek Jeters and the Michael Strahans, because they have so much greatness and they got characteristic or something that I can pull from them that I could bring here.
He gonna bring it here, man. Shout out to Vaughn Miller for the Cash App, man. Appreciate you, bro, for your support and your love and adulation for the nation. Appreciate you, bro. And on top of that, I'm taking what Parsons is saying all the way to the bank. All the way to the bank. Now, everyone have a reason, but results are what matter, right? But when you look at it and you digest the leadership move of tangibly seeing this dude is out there running extra laps. He don't have to do that. Instead of walking 1 mile, he walking 2 with you, That's in the book, So don't walk 1, walk twine for your mind. Yeah, somebody says Lance Bell says the Lion King now. He's a king. Remember who you are. You are my son. The one true king, right? But sometimes you have to look into the reflection and look a little closer. That's what Rafiki told him. Look closer, right? Shoot, look closer. He said, dumb fool, that's just my reflection. He said, look a little closer, you see? That's how it was. A true story. He said, I know who you are. He had to face his own fears. He had to look closer and remember who you are. You are my son, the one true king. So this is what it is. Was that you on that movie? Maybe it was. Maybe I'm the new Mufasa, the new one, But Micah is changing. His narrative goes a long way. When you, voted for Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you got to fall and then you got to get back up. I always tell people, if you fall, try to land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. And that's what Parsons, when you look back at everything, I'm glad that, you look at other guys that was kind of rated higher than him. And this is amongst his peers. Like, what do I need to do to get myself back into the goodness? What do this team need to do? Yeah. So when you look into this situation, you got to say to yourself that bringing in a 38, 40-year-old man, I'm giving him ages though, he's 35, 36, is beneficial to the team. When you add in Jordan Phillips, beneficial to the team. 6'6", 340. That's benefiting the team. It's not hurting. It's better to have than to have not. You know what I'm saying? So we got bigger bodies now. That's how I want you guys to really dive into this. I understand wholeheartedly the Green Bay loss and the lack of movements that we had during this postseason and the skeptics and the criticisms of everything. I get all of that. I understand it. I would take that to this degree, whereas we can all say, hey, you know, it's not something that we can, you know, pop champagnes and fireworks out to, right? And we still got to pay our guys. I got my guy Jesse Holler. He's saying, yeah. Ooh, Linval Joseph in the Isle of Hopium flavored Kool-Aid is in, you know. So you got to have hope. You got to have hope sometimes. So, and I know some people would dog the hope. Yeah. But if you don't have hope, when you lose all hope, it's over with. You know, I hope that I can make it. Because with the hope is related to faith. You know, it is. I break down hope is hold on, pain is ending. Write that down. HOPE, hold on, pain is ending. Right? Some of y'all, man, don't y'all know that 82% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck? That study was done 15 years ago. That number could be even higher, especially due to inflation. So 82% of Americans that's watching right now, they hope that they're getting paid this Friday. They're leaning on that check to come through. But they don't stop their job now, right? You come on with it. They hope that they get paid. Everybody saying, man, I hope that this money come in. Shoot. And that's all they live for. Paycheck, 82%. Come on. 82% ain't worried about saving. Hell yeah, they definitely ain't worried about saving nothing. Shout out to my guy Vach Lombardi if he's in the house. Appreciate it. I see some people putting Vach in the chat. Appreciate my big homie. Yes, indeed. So that's a lot of stuff. So all we can say is with our older guys that we have here, I can tell you that the hopium will be, I hope, that these guys can stay healthy. You see, a lot of people dismiss the fact that we left out Trayvon Diggs last season. Man, don't y'all know if we said, man, I hope if Trayvon Diggs stayed healthy all last year, the outcome would have been even better. Maybe, just maybe, we don't fool around and move pieces so much around that we look like we looked last year. People fail to realize that. That's a star-studded player, an all-pro player that was hurt for the season. And we still win 12-5, right? So we can go back and forth with the hopium, you know. So I just can tell y'all that. I wanted to showcase, these are my wide receivers. I think we went over a lot of things about that. My guy Jay Tuck, shout out to him. He says, funny, Cowboy fans are like, I don't care that the Washington team traded away Dotson and the Eagles got Dotson. The Eagles have a better, he says the Eagles we still better. We still better than the Eagles. The only reason they have confidence is because there's two players they refuse to pay. Yeah, so basically, in short, I messed up that read right there, but charge it to my head, not my heart. I hope you guys can understand, you know. But he's basically saying that the two guys that we need to depend on, they haven't got paid yet. Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. Dak, eventually he's still going to play, of course. CeeDee Lamb, we still waiting on that contract, and it went kind of good for them. Let me see what else. I went over all of this right here. This is just my little sheet right here. Oh, okay. And this is another thing before we get on up out of here and everything. I appreciate everybody. I want to display Mirror's live file, you know, and a lot of people, you know, was like, hey, that's the reason why we lose, because we got this soft singing going. But I think it's fun. Let's listen to this right here.
Talent that comes off the football field.
I'm literally capable of doing anything. I feel
So you take on any challenge.
Who won, by the way? Y'all let me know.
That's the word on the street. So we had a sing-off right now. And he just said anything, right? He did say anything. And we had a sing-off right now.
Used to spend my nights at the ballroom. Liquor was the only love I've known. Oh yeah. But you rescued me from reaching for the bottom and brought me back from being too far gone.
Come on with it.
Let me everybody sing with me. Everybody know this song. Happy birthday.
Who won? Put the number in the chat, man. Who won on that sing-off contest, man? It's always great talking to you guys, man. It's always good breaking down Cowboys information and beyond. Cowboy Nation. It's always a good thing. But the best moment of this is the fact that we still have hope in your heart, right? 35 won. Verde, yeah. 35 hands down. I heard that Overshawn can sing. We're going to have to pull up that tape next, right? They said Overshawn got some vocals. Whether we are the singing Cowboys or the Hope Cowboys, or Hopium Cowboys, that's what we're going to call them. We are Dallas Cowboys. And yes, we need to be who we are. So many people may just think that the Washington team is better. They may just think that the Giants team is better. They may just think that the Eagles are better. They are better looking up to us. That's the only thing that they are better than. And yes, the NFL didn't start since 2000. And yes, I don't remember handing out trophies and signatures and banners for those who make it to the Super Bowl to ultimately lose. We're not about that degree. Nah. One day at a time, one movement at a time is the name of the game. Cowboy Nation. That's what it is. Be sure to hit the like, share this content. Let friends and neighbors know where to go when it's time to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. There's more and more contents around here that we're going to be putting out. Be sure to hit the like, share this content, and subscribe. Jim Rowan says, when the end comes for me, let it find me, conquering a new mountain, not sliding down an old one. That's a real tangible thing. Trust the distance that's run, not the distance that's talked about. That's another thing. Continue to elevate yourself and your mind to higher heights. And don't fall into the traps of this world. To say that you are less than, to say that you don't belong. Just continue to stand out. Be the shining star of someone else's darkness. Cowboy Nation. Be who you can be and hope for the best and lean on the Creator to design the pathway for you. Coyote says, salute, Law. Appreciate you for your support. Every dime counts, and I appreciate you on that. Mama said, say that quote from Les Brown one more time before you go. Always listen to moms. If you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired, and it makes you hold everything tawdry and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you'll gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, or plan to lose all terror of your mind, if you would simply, or just simply go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength, sagacity with faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity. If neither cold or poverty or famish or fame or the sickness of your body or brain can turn you all away from the thing you want, if dogged and grim and besiege and beset, just like Press Ham talk, you will get it. Cowboy Nation, that's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for your support. Stop playing with it, Law. Come on, baby. Yeah. I'm going to try. Y'all be safe. DC for life, not for short. And give me my theme music. Come on with it.
Give me my theme music.
Hey, ho. We about, man. One love, DC for life, not for short. That's all we want to do is run that thing all the way up to the window, to the wall. Come on, holla! Hey, ho, let go. That's all we wanted to do, baby.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal, lady. I just wanna run it up. Yeah. Kinda check the song.
Shout out to you, Mike Jones, Rev, Calais, Cowboy, and Coyote. Hey, Future Vision. Tony and them, I see you, Simmons.
Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still sit and roll my change. Take some losses when I play. Charge it to the game.
Come on.
I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Reverend now. I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with J, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, I switch
Adkins, appreciate you.
You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, there's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer.
Call it what?
I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it.
Until next time, DC for life, not for short.
Have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Come on with it.
Yeah. Kinda check the song. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up, count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah. I just be off the dome. I never own no chrome. Too many foes and clothes. Yeah.